The first type of glands are sudiferous glands, which means sweat glands. And there's two different types of sweat glands. Apican sweat glands typically lead to a hair follicle. So here we've got an apican sweat gland. These are found in the groin, associated with pubic hair, the axilla region associated with armpit hair, the areola around the nipple, the beard of men. These are typically not going to produce sweats until we hit puberty. So these are going to release things in response to stress and sexual stimulation. We think they may also be involved in releasing things like pheromones. These are the sweat glands that stink. So they create something called bromhidrosis, which is body odor. So not all sweat smells, and it's not actually the secretions that smell. The problem is in these regions where they secrete there are microorganisms like bacteria that live on the skin that actually break down the secretions, and then it's the excretion of the bacteria that leads to body odor. American sweat glands, these are everywhere, so these are going to release up to the skin, and these are found all over the body, palms, hands, forehead. These release sweating due to overheating, so this is how we're going to cool down our body through the process of perspiration, which is 99% water and it's slightly acidic. And perspiration on the skin actually helps to prevent bacterial growth. These do not smell, you can't sense this perspiration. Usually you don't know that you're sweating. But sometimes if your body is very overheated, you might go into noticeable sweating. Noticeable sweating is called diaphoresis, and that usually happens when you are excessively hot or you're exercising. Sebaceous glands are oil glands. So these secrete a oily substance called sebum. These are typically, so here's a sebaceous gland. These are typically associated with a hair follicle, and they have a very short duct that opens into this follicle. And they are going to help keep your skin and hair from becoming cracked and dry. And a lot of times we spend a lot of effort getting rid of our natural skin oils, and then we go get things like body lotions to put on our skin to help us protect ourselves from drying out. And a lot of the times the body oils that we're buying are actually made out of sebum of other organisms. So things like lanolin that we use to keep our skin from cracking is made from sebum in a different animal. Ceruminous glands secrete a secretion called cerumen, which we call earwax. And these are only found in the external ear canal. So here's the external ear canal here till we get to the eardrum. These are going to help to keep the eardrum pliable. Over time, the cerumen will build up in the ear canal, and it migrates out of the ear canal and then gets kind of caught in the pinna. So a lot of the times we will use a Q-tip to clean out the cerumen in our ear. Q-tips were designed to clean the pinna here. Q-tips were not meant to clean the external ear canal, because what happens is when you shove a Q-tip in this area, the cerumen becomes impacted on the eardrum. And once the cerumen is impacted, it's difficult to get out. You'll probably have to get a medical professional to clean it out for you. And it can actually interrupt your hearing. Another type of exocrine gland, so glands that secrete to the body surface, is the mammary glands. These are typically only found in females, and these are the milk-producing glands. Even though breasts are present in both sexes, the mammary glands are only present in females that are currently going through pregnancy or lactation. So most females who are not pregnant and not lactating do not have the actual glandular tissue in the breast. They have a nipple and areola, but there's no developed glands behind here. So one of the reasons that the breasts become tender and swell in early pregnancy is right when a woman becomes pregnant is when these glands start to grow and develop. And then the breasts typically enlarge again right after birth as they fill with colostrum and then eventually breast milk. So take a moment and reflect on the two different sudoriferous glands.